Happy Friday, everyone. We have a fantastic blind prepared for you today, and I think, Trenton, this one is actually groundbreaking. This is a first. I truly don't believe we've ever done a blind with this low of proof, with all of them 80 proof and one of them 81 proof. Jordan, you may want to check that for us.
Yeah, Jordan, while you're doing your little thing, if you want to, I don't want to ask too much.
Pretty sure. We got some 4 great bottles, but Trenton really wanted to put this Buffalo Trace 80 proof bottle that we reviewed on Wednesday into the blind today. Thank you, Daniel, for sending us that bottle all the way from Sweden. But before we get into the show, I want to touch base on this really quickly. We have our very first SLB golf outing coming up on May 24th. And Trenton, I don't know if you all knew this, but Trenton's like a scratch golfer.
I don't even know what that means.
That means you shoot close to par.
Pretty much. I am guaranteed a couple birdies on an 18 hole course or an 18 hole run. It's just unreal. I'm like not Tiger Woods. What's that other guy? Phil Mickelson. I'm like Phil Mickelson out here.
Phil's a lefty.
I'm not a lefty, but I shoot like Phil. So it's all good. It's gonna be a great time.
Oh mercy! Trenton's like I'm not that great of a golfer either, but the 2 guys that are heading up this outing is going to be my brother's helping, but Jay Hoots. Thank you, Jay, for all you've done to get this going. It was his idea. He's done a lot of the legwork, and Kent is also now really hitting his stride and helping out with a lot of things too. And both those guys are really good golfers. Trenton and I, not so much.
Don't count me out yet. I will probably beat Kent this year. Last time I golfed, I think I shot a 110 on over 18.
Yeah.
And I lost 17 balls, I think. It was an expensive outing.
Yes, it was. Well, of course, we're doing this for charity, and that's the main reason why that was brought up. And this year, and hopefully in the years to come, we're going to be trying to raise money for suicide awareness. That's the charity that we've chosen, and unfortunately, it's not an easy topic to talk about. Suicide has hit many families, including myself, including Trenton as well. And so and I think you know us by now, 100%, and I can guarantee you that 100% of all the proceeds will go towards helping with suicide awareness. Now, what you need to know about, we offered this opportunity to our patrons first.
Correct.
And we got about 70 individuals signed up for the golf outing. Trenton is going to put all the information that you need to know into the description. And if you're interested in joining us for this particular golf outing, check it out in the description. There's only like probably 60 or 70 more spots available, but all the information that you need to know will be in the description. So if you're interested, sign up. Jay's in charge of all that stuff. Him and I aren't.
Yep.
So I'm being a little bit general here, but Trenton and I aren't in charge of any of this stuff. But he'll have everything you need to know in the description. Check it out. We'd love to have you there. We'll all be there. The family will be there. Baby will be there, right? You'll be on the cart over there serving the drinks and everything, right? Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
You didn't think you were going to stay home, did you? This is going to be at Aberdeen in Valparaiso, Indiana. So we get it. A lot of you would like to attend, but schedules can be conflicting. Some of you all live across the state, so it's a little bit hard to travel. Yeah. May 24th, which is Memorial Day, is going to be the fundraiser. I think we start at 9 o'clock.
Is it?
On the dot.
Okay.
So just a TLDR, just so you know if you need to look in the description or not. I'll put all the info below. Well, I guess we'll go from there and see. But
it'll be a great time, that's for sure. All right, Trent, let's get into the task of the day, this blind that we have in front of us. I personally chose the bottles that are in the blind. I went ahead with, of course, the Buffalo Trace 80 proof. I went ahead with 4 Roses, which is 80 proof. I got a Heaven Hill here. What's that one called, Trent? Quality House?
Yep,
that's 80 proof. And Wild Turkey, which is actually 81 proof, but I thought it was close enough to put it in there. I wanted to choose some bottles that are high-profile distilleries, and so that's what we did. Let's see how Buffalo Trace comes up against these. I personally said in Wednesday's video that Buffalo Trace would beat the pants off of any other 80 proofers out there. And that's why Trent said, well, we should put it in a blind, because he loves to prove me wrong sometimes. So hopefully,
I'll
be right.
I think it would, but we'll see. We're going to start with A here.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I've been kind of not prepping because we literally just figured we're going to be in we're going to be in Atlanta for the next couple days. So we're pre-recording, which we only do when we're on trips and whatnot. So we're recording this the same day as we did the review on the 80 proof Buffalo Trace. So my palate's been a little bit prepped for the lower proof. Yeah. I've also been drinking a little bit lower proof stuff, specifically American single malts at home.
Wow,
yeah. I've been reaching for tin
honey,
cup 10 a little bit
honey,
recently.
Our boys growing up right in front of our eyes. Hard to believe. I'm so proud of you, bud. American single malts, my man.
This smells like a tire.
How would you say that?
How does it not?
I don't get it. I get a little bit of honey in there.
What?
I do. Tire.
Dude, imagine you're driving the Menards NASCAR and you just do a sick burnout on the track or whatever they call it. That's exactly what it smells like. If you watched our Buffalo Trace 80 proof review, the robin is still going strong on that window in there. So if you didn't...
Did you hear him? I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, yeah, several times already.
Oh my.
If you didn't watch that video, we currently have a robin pecking away and running into a window just out of the way there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them. I honestly get some honey and a little bit of vanilla, Trent. I really don't. I don't get any tire. I don't.
I really wish that I was getting vanilla and honey out of this. I will say that I do not get any tire on the palate. It's honestly quite nice. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with any 80 proof / lower proof stuff, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be lacking something. It's a little bit thin. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for what it is,
I get a little bit of I get some of those notes that I was talking about, a little bit of vanilla, maybe a tiny bit of honey in there too, but there is a little bit of like a leather note in there, or maybe a barrel note of some sort.
Yeah, that's not honestly the worst lower proof thing. We were really trying to get a Basil Hayden in here, but we don't have any. We don't have any regular Basil Hayden in here.
I don't have one.
I have one in the basement somewhere.
Oh, you'd be a couple hours trying to find that.
Oh, it's probably tucked away in a corner somewhere for sure.
All right, well, you know what, Trenton? I'll be honest with you. I was not disappointed with A.
Kind of off to a strong start.
Yeah, I really wasn't.
I need to rate mine.
B. Sweet, sugary.
When I drink lower proof stuff, I just don't think my nose has been trained very well because I always just get like unpleasant smells.
I didn't get it on the first one. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not getting a lot out of this. I'm just getting a little bit of confectionery type note.
It smells like metallic.
Does it?
A little bit. Like metallic, like if you burnt a plastic straw. I'm getting that kind of a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's my schnoz issues, honey. What do you think? Maybe.
And I mean,
maybe it is.
It's sweet smelling, don't get me wrong. And when I say these things, unless I say right afterwards it's bad, it's usually just my own way of smelling something, which is a little bit
I will say B is much weaker in the aromas than A. I will say that.
Maybe a little bit of a peanut shell type of a thing, but I'm honestly struggling to pull out anything.
Say that was pretty flat.
Yeah,
pretty flat.
It is kind of like a flat pop. There is, now that I'm tasting it, there is this honeycomb type of a thing, very very faintly, mixed with like it's got this burnt quality to it that I'm picking up just a little bit.
The burnt quality I can see a little bit. For me, truthfully, I just don't get a whole lot out of that option. I just don't get a whole lot out of it.
And we don't know the price on the 80 proof Buffalo Trace. Usually exports are just a little bit more expensive, so it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, if that was a bit higher than the regular Buffalo Trace that's US only.
Sure.
But these other ones are, I think, pretty much all below $20.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're not talking about
you know, this is all budget
Russell's
stuff.
13 level stuff.
No,
I can't even believe I said Russell's.
This is all budget stuff. Budget bourbon. For me right now, I like A better than B.
Ooh.
That's it.
Oh, whoa. What just happened
What'd you
in
do
there?
there?
I don't know.
Does that bird come in there and tap into your bourbon?
I guess. Trying to get a little taste in there. Now this has a nice fruity pebble note to it.
Okay, sure.
It's it's an artificial type of a fruity flavor.
Yeah, but still, it is. It's very light and fruity and sweet, and yeah, sure.
Trust me, I slam a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. It's not often anymore, no.
But they're so tiny. Don't they get just so soggy in the milk?
Michelle and I had an argument. I don't want to say an argument, but we've been on she gets in kicks like it was a Cocoa Pebbles for a while, and now it's mini wheats. And I love mini wheats. But when I do mini wheats, I put like a whole bowl and then just like that much. It's like 2 tablespoons of milk. Because it can't get too soggy.
You're doing it wrong.
No.
That's the problem, because you got to put more milk in there and let those mini wheats soak that up.
That's disgusting.
So when you put it in your mouth, you kind of take your tongue. You can even kind of do it on the roof of your mouth and eat it that way. You don't even really have to chew it.
No, that's just terrible. Is that how you do it, really?
I would, yes. That's.
No, there still needs to have this crunchy, but not as dry as it usually is. It has to just have this a little bit of a bite to it, and it has to be a little bit cold. There needs to be enough milk to start dissolving the sugar on the top, like that little.
But if you're only putting that much milk in, why? Why are you doing it? Just eat it.
No, because I don't like the just it for like raw cereal. There needs to be some other aspect to it.
I don't know, man.
Let us know how you eat cereal.
Yeah, well, ask Kent, because this is true. My peepaw, when he couldn't find the milk or whatever, he just put water in it. He'd eat it with water and cereal.
Just absolutely
didn't bother him one bit.
And I don't eat cereal too much because I'm lactose intolerant. So usually when I eat it, it doesn't end well.
Well, that's true.
So
that's true.
I would eat it a lot more. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was too bad.
It's like you put Fruity Pebbles through an incinerator. And you just poured it in my glass.
Why? Why would you say that? I don't get it. I thought it was, I am sipping these and, making choices, understanding the price points and the proof that I'm sipping. Is your expectations just too high, you think, or it's just the way you are?
No,
it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
There's just really nothing too pleasing about that one. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I prefer A over this one.
Okay.
I'm very excited to see our results on this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, on to letter D.
Here we go.
Now that is just chef's kiss, You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I'm surprised you said that in this particular blind, though.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's what I was laughing about him. I'm surprised.
You don't think I'd say that about an 80 proof?
No, I did not. No.
I think comparatively, it's so sugary.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot going. It's really nice. It even has a little bit of depth to the aromas too, which the other ones did not. The other ones are more or less one-noters, which is what you would expect.
It's like you take a little sip of it, and then it just kind of hits you with another right hook with the smell, because it's like multi-level. I feel like it's a little bit more thin than I would hope.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
I don't know if I'm just really craving Fruity Pebbles or what, but I also get a little bit on that.
Yeah.
It's got this dustiness to it, kind of. I don't know what that's all about, but
definitely has a little bit more depth.
Okay.
That's I think is what you're gathering with that too. Whether you're dusty, what you're looking, it's not like a one-noter. It's definitely got a few things going on in there. For an 80 proofer, it's actually pretty nice. For me, Trenton, I'm going to be honest. Right off the bat, B was my least favorite sip, so I can take that out right away.
Shame.
Do you have a pen, honey? I can give you mine if you want.
You can take mine now.
Yeah, I
Here you go.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
He stole your pen, didn't he? So for me, Trenton, B is in fourth place. So that I can be confident in.
Yeah, we're going out swinging because that is not my first.
It's not your first out?
Nope. My first out is C.
Dude.
Yep.
Are you joking with me right now?
No.
That is insane.
No, I mean there's something. If I do take a really big whiff of it, it does kind of gives me like a Rick Housey type of a vibe to it, but it doesn't transfer to the palate. What does is just it's just okay compared to the other three. Would I drink it? Sure.
Okay.
But if I had the choice to drink it versus something else, yes.
I will say this, which is in my notes too. C would come out next for me. So it's not that I had it ranked. I'm just surprised you didn't choose B as your first out. I'm surprised by that.
My next out would be B.
Okay, so
we're
we just differ there.
We differ flip flop. Yep.
All right.
Now I will be honest. I have both of these at the same score.
Yeah, I got a question mark down here. I need to go back to A because it's been a while since I've tasted it. So I'll retaste A and possibly D and see what happens.
A really reminds me of a tamale. It's got this like masa type of a kind of a quality to it.
Yeah. Tamale and masa.
It does. Like this corn husk, like a baked corn husk type of a thing to it. It's got this little bit of funkiness to it.
Yeah. That's good, dude. That's pretty good.
You get that or no?
Yeah, that's pretty good. How's he do that? I don't know how he does that. That's pretty good, though. I would have never thought masa. It wouldn't come to me.
It's organic, but it's also like there's something corny about it, and it's not a sweet corn.
No, I'm all over that note.
Wow.
It's just, I'm pretty impressed, dude. I'm impressed.
And the only reason I know that is because you had a couple guys that used to make them for you for the holidays, and they were really good.
For me, honey, A is going to be next to go out. And that would put D as my winner of the day, of the blind. That's my choice. So I put corn masa in second place.
I'm not even going to lie.
Fruity Pebbles in first.
I'm not going to lie here. I think D is Buffalo Trace. I think A is Four Roses. And they're both so different.
You never drink 80 proofers. Why would you guess that, I guess? Exclude the Buffalo Trace, because we do that every once in a while in different blinds and stuff. Why would you consider A to be Four Roses? We never drink. You don't like Four Roses to begin with, for the most part, and we never really do sip 80 proof whiskey, so I'm curious.
Because I think C was Wild Turkey 101. And I think B was Heaven Hill, because Heaven, I was reading on the label, just as we were talking about, it's charcoal filtered, and I did get a little bit of this burnt type of a thing to it. Even though I said C was like an incinerator, I got more of an oaky presence on C, which I feel like Wild Turkey tends to have. D is without a doubt Buffalo Trace because it's sweeter. So that just leaves, I mean, that's process of elimination.
Kid's so analytical, right? It's just, maybe it's because of what you do for a living. Me, I just go swap mud on the wall.
And I'm probably incorrect.
That's all I do.
I'm probably incorrect.
I don't ever drink any of these, so I really don't have a comment. I honestly could not have a truthful option of what these are. I couldn't do it truthfully. I'm guessing wholeheartedly.
And I'm most likely incorrect, but I just know that D is Buffalo Trace, and I have to go with Buffalo Trace just because I do like A. It's more of a savory type of a note with that like masa-y type of a tamale kind of a thing to it. It's not something that I would prefer over a more sweet profile.
Okay.
So I'm going to take A as my second, and then D is my first place.
All right, then. I'm going to be very intrigued of how this comes out and what your mother tells us.
I'm nervous.
You should.
I made a pretty bold claim there.
Yes, you did. Do Trenton's, because he's the one who went all out on what each one was and everything.
Trenton's fourth place
was
letter C.
That would be my third, okay.
And that was Wild Turkey.
Well,
Okay.
No wonder why I bumped it up one.
I know that you don't drink the 81 proof
I don't.
often.
No, I don't.
But it's still kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I'm thinking of mine. So this is your third place.
That's my third.
Okay.
Your last.
Trenton's third place was letter B. And that was Four Roses.
Wow, I was wrong.
Well.
Huh.
So that was my last place.
Yes.
Yeah.
This hasn't fared very well in our blinds in the past, if I recall correctly.
Right.
But
Which I'm a fan of Four Roses much more than Trenton is.
yeah.
So I'm just not a fan of the 80 proofer.
It's more traditional, I feel like.
Okay.
So that was what for me?
That was your third, and that was letter B.
Okay, so I thought this was Heaven Hill. Okay.
So second place for both of you
Uh-huh.
was letter A,
Yes.
and that was Quality House.
Okay. So that is Heaven Hill, which I think is a really good bottle. I honestly think this Heaven Hill Quality House is
I like it.
really good for how much you think that is. I don't even
I think it's
remember.
$11.
It's like $11 or $12. I mean, you cannot go wrong for this Quality House at
No.
$11 or $12.
Heck no.
Are you kidding me? What letter was that again, honey? Help me with that. The Heaven Hill.
I moved.
Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
was A.
Quality
Yeah,
House
A.
was A.
My bad. So that's your corn masa.
That's interesting. I'll stand by it 100%.
Yeah.
I still think it has some of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny it one bit. I thought that was that was pretty incredible what you did there with that corn masa stuff.
Now I think too. Now that I know what it is, I'm getting a little bit of a charcoaly kind of a thing, like a grill note.
Maybe.
But, anyways,
Well, it shows something here today. Now, is this what you thought would happen? You're the one that wanted to do this in a blind, because I'm the one that said I feel this 80 proof Buffalo Trace would beat the pants off of any 80 proof whiskey. Period. Any 80 proof bourbon.
yeah.
Period.
And I mean, I didn't know for sure because, quite honestly, I mean, we said this. We don't drink a ton of 80 proof stuff or on the lower end of the proof range kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All I know is that Buffalo Trace usually wins blinds because it's sweeter. And when you take something that's a lower proof and combine that with something like a woody type profile, like I usually get with Wild Turkey, or if you charcoal filter something, I feel like, and then I don't remember what I said for Four Roses. I don't know that I had a ton of nice things to say about it. I think that was B.
Well,
That might have been the incinerator. No,
yeah, that was my
fire
least.
one.
That was my least favorite one. But
when you can get something that overcorrects on those profiles that people usually stray away from because of the fact that they're just not sweet, and you give them something that's sweet, and people love sweets anyways, I feel like that's going to take the cake every time.
however, I also want to include that this was the only sip that I had that also provided a little bit of depth, being 80 proof. The other ones to me were more one-noters. You're kind of trying to figure out, is it a little sweeter, is it not? One of them, I can't remember now, one of them really didn't taste like a whole lot of anything to me. But this one actually had a little bit of a depth to it.
Yeah.
It really did. It was sweet and had some little bit of barrel note to it and a little bit of toffee in there, and I thought it was nice.
And what I will say is that, in my opinion at least, when it comes to the most complex, most intriguing one, I'd give it to Heaven Hill's Quality House, because I do get a little bit of like this masa / tamale kind of thing, and I do get a little bit of a charcoal, and as I sip it, it changes a little bit. This is always just constantly sweet, and it doesn't really add much, but because it's sweet, and I'm a big sweet fan, that's gonna take the cake all the time.
Well, good. Well, I think it was great, Trenton, that this Quality House here, and we've never put this in a blind or anything like this, so I was really happy that I chose this one to come out here because it kind of stood up very nicely to that Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't stray away from any of these if you're somebody that isn't dipping down into the low proofs.
Right.
In my opinion, you can't go wrong with either one of these. This one obviously is an export, so you're not going to be able to find it.
Some people
with
will.
80 proof. Oh yeah.
It's amazing what people can find. Some people will find this 80 proof, and I think it's a fantastic bottle to have on your shelf for visitors who have never sipped bourbon.
It's just also kind of a wow factor.
Yeah.
Because I was wowed by it earlier today when we first talked about it. So
Yeah. Cool beans. It was a lot of fun.
yeah.
All right, that's all we have for you today. Have a great weekend, and as always, we're going to ask you to please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.